My name's Sean Durkin. I'm head of capital markets here at CR3 Markets. Today, I'm sitting with our CEO, Wick Brown, and he's well known in the financial scene here in Denver. He's lived here for a long time, graduate of DU, and started companies, sold companies, ran a hedge fund. And we're going to take a deep dive into CR3 Markets. So, Wick, thank you for taking the time to join me today.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. Glad to be here. Excited to talk about CR3 markets and commercial real estate in general.
Yeah. So what is CR3 Markets? How was it founded?
Yeah, so CR3 Markets is an alternatives investment platform that was incubated at Notre Dame by some very bright students. They were winning pitch contests and caught the eye of some big investors. They were also working with a venture studio as a partner with Notre Dame, High Alpha Innovation, and ultimately decided they needed to go hire a CEO to run the whole thing because the students needed to finish out at Notre Dame. And I came along in May and we started ramping things up. Lucky enough to hire Dimitri Raskis, my CTO from a prior experience, and you, Sean, for the markets side of things. And so, yeah, very excited.
Yeah, that's fascinating. So founded at Notre Dame, funded partially by the Notre Dame Venture Fund, and brought you in. What inspired you to join CR3 Markets when they reached out and asked you to be the CEO? I mean, what made you want to jump at this opportunity?
Yeah, I've been in capital markets in various aspects of it. I've been on the entrepreneurial side. I've been on the buy side, running a hedge fund, and I've been on the banking side as well, and also in the 40 Act world. So, I've seen how capital markets work, and I'm seeing this trend towards creating liquidity for alternatives. We've had great public markets, Sean, for years. Everybody likes that liquidity. People get used to being able to trade what they own, being able to value what they own. So investment platforms excite when you're creating a new platform to create liquidity in a space that previously hasn't had as much liquidity. One of my previous startups tokenized residential real estate. So I've kind of been in this space to a degree. And when I heard about CR3 Markets and, the focus on commercial real estate, I got really excited. I also like the fact that we're going to market with a construct that already exists. So we're not trying to force blockchain on anyone. We could easily implement blockchain down the road, but right now we're using a construct, Reg A+, that's part of the regulatory exemption infrastructure of the SEC. So we don't have to do anything special. And actually, I think it's an underutilized tool. I know we're going to talk about it a little bit more, but all of that seems to fit together for me. And when you look at these platforms out there, many of them are approaching or have already achieved unicorn status. And I don't think we're going to stop. I think there's plenty of room for more platforms. You just have to create your platform that with a defensible niche. And I think CR3 Markets has that.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I asked you what led you to CR3 Markets. What were you doing before this? Tell us a little bit about the companies that you've built and sold.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, I've been in and around capital markets, but I've also been involved with 3 different software startups. Early on in my career, I was involved in a startup where we captured all of the trades on futures and options exchanges. And back then, it was a long time ago. But back then, that was a big deal. People were trading, technical traders were trading with open, high, low, close data. We decided there was a benefit to collecting every single trade throughout the day. The firm was called Tick Data, and that firm was sold to a bigger data company and still exists as Tick Data, but a subsidiary of a bigger data company. And then later on in my career, coming out of my hedge fund, we decided to take what was our proprietary data for trading. We decided about 80% of that was actually not really proprietary, and it would be a great third-party data product. And so we productized it and created Black Box Logic, which we eventually sold to Moody's Analytics. So yeah, capital markets and software startups kind of back and forth throughout my career, and it was a good fit for CR3 Markets.